Do you know the feeling when you open the drawer and everything moves around? Now it's time to fix that. Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Ido Agassi and today I'm making a shoulder neck box for this screw punch tool. This is a very nice tool that you replace the heads of the tool and you can just punch holes inside your work. So I want to make something that would hold the tool itself and all the different heads, the different diameters, because they're always moving around and you don't find the one that you need, and it's about time I'll organize everything in a secure place. So with an idea in mind, let's bind. I'm going to move this and start working. So I cut the boards into size. There are going to be two of them exactly the same, one for the top and one for the bottom. That is nice because I can give you some camera angles, which I love to film. And we are going to do the length of the perpendicular is exactly the same, and the width is going to be just -2 board thickness. I'm going to start by gluing the bottom of the perpendicular and connect it. And I'll bring my small weights that I love using. I'll flip it to this side, give this as a straight line. I'll bring another weight and connect the other side. I'll slide it here. Let's flip it over to the side. And now glue the bottom and the sides. And I'm going to connect the short sides and just insert it inside. Let's see if I have a small weight for this one. Nice. Flip it over to this side and I'll do the other side. The glue I'm using is PVA, quite thick now because I want it to hold the boards in place. And the weights allow me to give it a 90-degree angle. Although it's very, very small, they help me accomplish that. I'll give it a couple of seconds. After I'm finished, I'm going to sand it a bit. The sanding allows me that everything would be in the same level and nothing would be pointing out before covering. Moving on to the paper I'm going to use. Look how beautiful it is. And I'm going to cut a strip of 16 centimeters. I'll mark 1 and 2 marks. Of course, I can also see where the mark is 16 on my cutting mat and then cut. The cutting mat is a great tool to have. I'll move this aside. You see, this is jumping around. I can give it a little bit of a pull this way, and now it is more straight to work with. Now I'm going to locate it 4 centimeters all around, and I'm going to put my weights 1 and 2, and this would act as a stopper when I bring it into place. I'll start gluing from the inside out. While I'm working, I want to tell you about the tool itself. The screw punch tool allows you to make precise holes in leather, in paper, in the outside cover. The advantages of this tool is when you use it, it cuts out material and not push it inside like with an awl. And it comes in the diameter of 1 millimeter, and that's really great because this is more or less the thickness of the needle you are using. By the way, I will add in the description a link to this screw punch tool. This is a very nice tool to have. And let's see how the paper reacts, because this is the first time I'm using this paper. I see it's not bubbly or something. I can work with a bond folder on it. And it looks great. Now I'll do some cutting. And because the joint is here, I'm going to cut from this side. 1 and 2. And from this side, 1 and 2. And let's give it 1.5 to hold on the sides. So I'm cutting it here and a bit of an angle here, and I'll cut it here and with a bit of an angle here. Other side. Great. Remove these. Now I'm going to glue the long sides. I'm going to glue this perpendicular. Connect it. Let it stand for a bit. I'll bring a small weight to hold it. And I'm going to do some cutting. I'll cut it from the inside and plus board thickness and give it an angle here. And I'll do it for the other side. That is why I like the 30-degree blade. It reaches places very easily. And now I'm going to glue this side. Take this back a bit. And the long flap. I'm going to connect it here. And I'll take a pointed bone folder and just insert it inside in the joint here. With paper you can just shape it as you wish, like so. I'll do the other side. While you're watching me work, I do encourage you to try it for yourself. I'm using most of the materials are scrap materials. You don't need a lot of materials to make it, and you can practice box making. Worst case, you'll do it again. But making boxes is so satisfying to do when you finish and everything fits perfectly. That is a great satisfaction. Connecting it inside, working with my bone folder. I love this paper, look how amazing. Now I'm going to cut the short sides. In order for it to go inside, I need to cut it from the inner part and cut with a bit of an angle here. I'll bring my waste paper, and now I'm going to glue the entire thing for both sides. So this up until the end, and let's do this up until the end. Take it out, and then I'm going to connect it and insert it inside. And for the other side, bringing it into place and inserting it inside. I like to work on the edges to see everything is glued nicely. Don't forget, this is the top or bottom side. We need to make sure everything looks good. And because the other side is exactly the same, I'm going to move on to the inner neck. This procedure is more or less the same as I did, so I'm going to run through it very fast. So this is 1, this is 2. Flip it to this side. This is 3. And this is 4. I'll let it dry. Now actually I just need a little bit of the side and the inner side to be covered. I'm going to bring this nice Buckram, and because I want it to hold just a little bit of the bottom side, I'll locate it here, and I'm going to glue this side here up until the end, like so. And connect it here. We'll flip it over. For easy folding, I'm going to give a cut over here and a cut over here with both thickness. Now let me glue this one. I'm going to glue it up until the end here. Lift it on it. Nice. Give it an angle here. Give it a cut here. So hold it like this and cut it with a bit of an angle. In order for it to stand nicely, I'm going to connect the back side. I'm not worrying about this side because it's not going to be seen. It's going to go inside the box we just made. It's a long time since I've been working with Buckram. It's a very strong material, usually used for binding books in the library that you need it to be very durable for a long time. Great. Now that it is sitting nicely on the table, I can bring the waste paper and connect it inside. Solid glue alongside and insert it inside. Other long side with the long mark. Hope it won't be seen. And now this side. And connect. And the other side. Let me see that it fits nicely inside. Fits great. And now for the tricky part. I want to make an inner base that would hold the tools and also the different heads inside. And I'm going to start working on it now. So what I think I'm going to do is put it here on a piece of paper. And I'm going to take a pencil and try to trace the shape. I'm sure there's a better way to do it with 3D modeling or scanning or making a PDF file, but this is an old style way. I'll take it out. And now I'm going to take my knife and just trace the shape. I'm going to bring two weights, and now I'm going to put it inside and see what happens. And now what I'm going to do is take some masking tape, and in places I feel that needs a little bit more, I'm going to add some, so I'll have exactly the shape I want it to be. I'll add some here and on the back side. side is better. I'll work on this also. Just adding and subtracting. I think I'm there. Now, the next step I did off camera is I just transferred the same shape to a piece of paper that can go inside the inner box. I'll show you how it looks. So it holds nicely. And I want to figure out where to locate the heads. So I'm going to bring two weights that it would hold it nicely. And let me bring the heads. I want to see if I'll start from this point. I think I can locate them 2 centimeters apart and they would look even. Let's see up until the end. Yeah, that looks nice. Let me straighten it up. I think it would look nice and the spacing is okay for both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a thin board and connect to it a nice material. I'm going to cut the shape of the tool and then to pierce holes for each of the heads more or less in this location. So I'll move this and all of these small things and I'll start working on it. So the first thing I did is cut a piece exactly that can fit inside my inner box. And now I'm going to take my knife and just trace the shape. Making a mock-up will really help you afterwards. And I want to cut first the board before connecting the material, because then it would be much easier to cut out material after cutting the board. And you can have a place to adjust it if you discover any problem. Now I'll bring my cover material. It has a nice feeling to it. And I'm going to put it, I want the tool like this and the nibs here. So yeah, I'm going to put it like this. I'll bring 2 weights, one here and one here. I'll bring my glue and I'm going to glue this side. I like these challenges of figuring out new things. I'm sure there's a better way to trace the shape. Write me in the comments how you would trace the shape easily. But this is what I decided to do, right? Flip it over. I'll bring my bone folder. Great. Now because I cut it exactly to size, I don't think I need turn-ins. I'm going to just trim it as the board. And now I'll cut out the shape. Let's take it out. Nice. Now it looks very professional, right? I'll check it again to see it fits nicely, and it does. Now what I'm going to do is mark the places for the nibs. I'm going to bring my caliper and I want to check this is 6 millimeters. I'll bring my ruler and I'm going to mark a line all the way here. And now I'm going to mark every 2 centimeters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now I'm going to drill the holes for the nibs. I'll bring a piece of weight to act as a stopper and paper for the underneath. I'll bring my piece. I'll open the machine. Wow, I can't wait to see if it fits. I'll bring one of the nibs. Oh my God, it fits perfectly. This is so satisfying. Amazing. Now what I actually need to do, I need to lift it a bit from the bottom side. I think around 1 centimeter would be enough. And then I can put the tool. But what I think is I need something to stop the nibs from falling down. So what I'm going to do is bring my weight and I'm going to build a wall all around. So I'm going to connect one, and I don't think I need to cover it. It's going to be kind of a stopper just for it to stand in its place. I see I need another weight here. Flip it like this. I'll glue and insert the sides. And the last side. I need to let it dry, but I want to see the result. Patience. We need patience in this line of work. Okay, I'll take this out. Now let's see. I need to figure out how much to add underneath so this won't fall down. So I'll bring 2 boards. Let's put it like this and see. It's too much inside. Let's try 3 boards. Yes, that would do the trick. Okay, so I'm going to connect these 3 boards. Now I need not to get confused. I don't need to glue it to this part, but to the bottom side. So how would I do that? I know. I'll take a piece of board to make sure I'm not going up until the end and connect it inside, making sure that right and left it's okay. Something like this. Hold it for a second. Let's try it out. Very satisfying to insert it inside. Wow, fits great. I'll bring the tool. Wow. Now let me put them inside, one after the other. 1 millimeter, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4. Wow. Are you ready to connect everything? I'll bring the bottom part and I'll bring my box. Let me connect the bottom side. It fits perfectly. Now let's bring the tool. It's so beautiful. Let me open it again. This was such a fun project, and if you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you will also enjoy this video about a box project. Thank you for being here and for watching. We just reached 50,000 subscribers. This is amazing, so thank you for all your love and support, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.